So today is going to be a different kind of video. Today I decided to do my own little tier list. I've seen other PvP tier lists on YouTube and oh my god, they're usually coming from people that don't actually do PvP, and anyone who's watched my content or knows me know that the only reason why I play GTA is for PvP, and I'm the only PvP player in the community that plays a versatile, which means that I've used pretty much every single one of these weapons more times than I can count. I don't stay in one specific area like most PvP content creators, so I do think that I'm a little bit more affirmed in what I know about weapons for this game. So I'm going to give you guys the best tier list that I can think of and give every weapon a fair try. Now, I do want to remind everybody that this is a PvP tier list. If you're a grinder or a heister, you might not agree with this. And I also want to remind you that this is a versatile PvP tier list, which means that this is for free mode, death matches, run and gun, everything. I'm counting all weapons equally in the playing field. So if you see your favorite weapon get low here, it's because as an overall weapon compared to the others, they just don't hold up. So to start off this tier list, we're going to go with the most obvious one, the jerry can, the worst weapon in the game. The jerry can is actually the only weapon in the game that you can't actually kill with. If you blow a jerry can up on top of another player, you actually don't get the kill for it. It will just say that they died. It's literally not possible to kill someone with a jerry can, so it's got to be on the bottom automatically. Next up, let's do the taser. So the taser, once again, it's not, you're not going to kill any good PvP players with it, but the fact that you actually can get a kill with it, I'm going to put it in C tier. I do think it is better than the jerry can because you can actually kill with it. So let's go to the next one, which would be the flare gun. So the flare gun. Now, on its own, the flare gun could easily be a C tier or even garbage tier, honestly. But I am going to put the flare gun at B tier. Now, the reason why I'm going to put it at B tier is because on its own, yes, against these two weapons, it would probably struggle. But the flare gun allows you to curve rockets around buildings, which is really useful. And if you're flying like a helicopter or something like that, you can also shoot the flare gun to redirect rockets away from you, which automatically makes it way more useful than these two weapons here that basically do absolutely nothing. Next up on the list is going to be the up and atomizer, B tier. Okay, I know that everyone is probably going to freak out when they see that this is B tier, but just being realistic, this thing sucks. If you're going against any player that's half decent at the game, you are not going to kill them with this. I know that people like Putter like to shoot oppressors with it and knock people off, but in a realistic standpoint, if you're going against a half decent player, the up and atomizer is not going to actually do anything for you, so I'm leaving it on B tier. All right, next up is tear gas. Tear gas, garbage. It's by far the worst explosive in the game. The only way to really kill people with tear gas is for them to stand in it. I would say the only explosive that might be worse than this is actually the Molotov, so we're just going to throw that in there too, because once again, you have to be pretty dumb to get killed by these weapons. I would say that in GTA's entire history, maybe like 1,000, 2,000 players at the most have been killed by these two weapons. Like, it's almost impossible to get killed by these unless you stand still and let them kill you. All right, so next up, we're going to do the SNS pistol. The SNS pistol, I would actually rate as a B tier. Once again, not very strong. It's pretty terrible, actually. It's by far the worst pistol in the game. I would take any pistol in this list over this one because it's meant to be like a short range, quick fire pistol, but it just doesn't work. It gets beaten by almost every single pistol in the game. It's pretty terrible. So we're going to move on to the next one. Next up, we have the double barrel shotgun. Garbage. Garbage. I would take any of the weapons above this, minus the jerry can, over this double barrel shotgun. This is by far the worst gun in the game. I don't know what Rockstar was thinking when they implemented this into the game. It is so bad. The range on it is so low, it is almost impossible to kill players. If you go to melee somebody with it, you're better off just using an actual melee weapon than the double barrel shotgun. It's 2 shots automatically, which means that you can't shoot one barrel and then shoot the other when you like. As soon as you press R2, both barrels go off. It is complete garbage. And what's funny is that they advertise this shotgun to be something where you're on a motorcycle and you're supposed to shoot other players on motorcycles, because this came out in the motorcycle update, if I'm not wrong. Good luck doing that. I have been playing GTA Online ever since it came out. I have never seen anyone actually kill someone on the back of a bike using this thing that wasn't a complete bot or an NPC. While we're at it, you know, let's honestly just get rid of all the melee weapons. Honestly, baseball bat, C tier, the cavalry knife, C tier. We're just going to throw all the melee weapons up here now. I would put these in C tier because I do think that they are better than all of these, which is pretty hilarious because melee weapons in most games are supposed to be the worst. You know, they're supposed to be outperformed by the guns, but in GTA, it just does not work that way. Hammer, and you know, the wrench, like all this stuff is just completely useless. Machete. I mean, this stuff is good if you're trying to have fun with a friend, but it's so useless. Oh, and the battle axe, we forgot about that one. The axe, we're just gonna once again pop that in C tier. It's not very good. The stone hatchet. All right, this is B tier. This is the best melee weapon in the game. This is far better than all of these combined, because if you get one kill with the hatchet, it literally puts you in God mode, which automatically makes it better than all of these. Oh, and the brass knuckles, also B tier. If you know how to glitch fight, which obviously I'm not going to be able to show you in this video, but if you know how to glitch fight, the brass knuckles beats literally all of these weapons. Every single one of these weapons gets beaten by the brass knuckles. And the stone hatchet also wins over them as well. Now, yes, the taser, it could probably beat these two melee weapons, but if you have BST on, the brass knuckles actually one-shots. So I am going to put these all above. And the stone hatchet also one-shots always, and you can glitch fight with them. So yeah, these two are definitely deserving to be up here over all these. Frag grenades, C tier. I mean, they're not the worst explosive in the game, but they're pretty bad. Pipe bombs, once again, C tier. They're, you know, whatever. Nobody really uses them. Being realistic in PvP, nobody actually uses them. Proximity mines, A tier. Proximity mines. So a lot of people, I feel like this is probably the most slept on weapon in GTA. I feel like a lot of people overlook proximity mines. These are very good. I mean, you go into a race, that's pretty much all people use. You can also throw proximity mines on spawn points. So if you're playing base or beach, you can literally put a proximity mine on a spawn point, and when they spawn in, they will actually run right into the proxy, or they'll actually spawn on it and it will blow them up. So the proximity mine, very slept on. It definitely deserves to be an A tier. I should also clarify that these are not in order. So like, I don't think the jerry can is better than the double barrel shotgun, for example. I'm just throwing them into the tiers. So, you know, you guys can organize it yourself, but I'm just doing it from tiers. Sticky bomb, S tier. The sticky bomb is honestly the only explosive in the game that I really use and most people use, because you have full control over it. It is definitely better than the proximity mine in pretty much every way. The only thing that the proximity mine does better is the fact that you don't have to really be seeing a player in order to kill them with it, because the proxy kind of does its own thing. You can obviously kill people with the sticky bomb without looking at them, but it is a little more difficult than just throwing down a proximity mine. But I do think the sticky is way better. It's 1,000 times better. We forgot to put the flashlight in C tier. My bad, by the way, guys. This is the first time I've ever done a tier list, so I'm kind of messing it up, but it's fine. Knife also goes in C tier as well because it doesn't beat these two. The musket. The musket. Ooh, where does the musket go? Where does it go? C tier. The reason why I would put the musket in C tier, although it has a very slow reload time, most people, I think by now on GTA, know how to cancel reload animations. If you don't, then I could see why you would put this in the garbage tier. But it hits very hard. It's a one-shot guaranteed to the head. And if you're laggy, if you're from like, you know, the UK or Australia or wherever you're from, this thing one-shots because Rockstar has this terrible like damage bug where if you're very laggy on the server, your weapons will do more damage, and this musket will one-shot people in the chest. So it obviously has to be C tier. At least. It can't go in garbage tier. what the hell is this thing again? Oh, the EMP launcher. Garbage. First off, I don't know anyone who ever tries to use this in PvP. I mean, maybe you could like use it to shut down a tank or a helicopter, but like, why not just blow it up? I mean, Rockstar tried to do something unique with this. It's just not. It didn't work. The Hellraiser. Is that what this thing is called? I actually don't remember what this thing is. It's like the little laser minigun. The laser minigun. Maybe A tier. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the worst. And well, honestly, we're just going to throw the minigun with it too, because let's be honest, they're the exact same thing. The minigun is probably a little bit better than the laser gun, but it's really not. I mean, you're playing an auto aim game. I guess maybe in free aim you could probably put this thing higher, but I still probably wouldn't, because it would still lose to, you know, most weapons if you have a decent player using it. The minigun and the laser minigun, they just slow you down. You really can't walk like that. So I'm going to leave it in A tier. I do think it's better than these, but it's not really all that great. Regular sniper rifle. Oh my god. Garbage. Complete garbage. This thing is a 4-shot kill. It takes forever to reload. And knowing GTA Online, most people are going to eat snacks, put on body armor, use BST, or blow themselves up. You are not going to get any kills with this thing. It's the chances of you actually killing a player with this are slim to none, unless you're using Bullshark and you're killing low-level players. And for my people that don't know what Bullshark is, it's basically like double damage that you can get. I know there's some people that probably don't know, and they're, you know, playing GTA for the first time because Christmas just passed and they probably don't know. But yeah, this thing, don't buy it. Save your money. So the RPG, S tier. The reason why the RPG is S tier is because it carries 20 rockets, and that's by far the most in the game. It can also be spammed. Like, you can spam it in a perfect straight line without missing. Now, obviously, the homing launcher is also going to be S tier, because once again, it's literally just like the RPG, but the homings are faster, they're more accurate. The only problem with the homings is that they're harder to spam and you carry less of them. So I feel like these two honestly balance each other out. I would recommend buying both of these and keeping them both on you at all times. I know a lot of, you know, players look down on you for using explosives, but it's GTA. There's no rule book that says you can't do it, and these are far better than any weapon here. Let's do the revolver. This is the Cattleman revolver, I think, if I'm correct. The Cattleman revolver, A tier. It's very good. If this was a running gun playlist, this thing would actually probably be higher, because the Cattleman revolver is very accurate. This thing is very slept on. Run and gun players are usually the people that use this. You know, free mode players, they don't use this. The AP pistol, I would actually also put in A tier as well. The AP pistol is very good. The Cayo Perico semi-automatic shotgun. I'm gonna put that in B tier. Do I think it's worse than all of these? No, I do not. But I do think it's worse than all of these. So it's got to go in B tier. It's pretty decent, but there are honestly guns that do what it does a lot better. So, I mean, if you want to take your time to get it, go ahead, but it's not really worth getting, because honestly, you could get this right here, the assault shotgun, which is the exact same thing, but it's way better. It has more attachments. It's got a larger mag. It's better in every possible way. It's faster firing. The assault shotgun, I really don't understand what Rockstar's whole motive was with the shotgun right here, because honestly, the assault shotgun is just honestly a carry. Like, I don't even know why you would need this thing in the first place, but it's there if you'd like it. Up, we have the OG marksman rifle. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. I'm not going to let my personal bias get in the way of this, because the marksman rifle was pretty awesome. In like 2016, 2015, I think a lot of people have nightmares about this thing. At least the grinders do, because oh my god, the tryhards used to abuse this thing. I do think it's an A tier. Maybe I'm letting my bias get to me just a little bit. Honestly, you could probably drop this down to a B tier. I think I might be a little biased here, but the marksman rifle, if you put BST on this thing, it literally two-shots everybody, and it's just so ridiculous. I can't not put it in A tier, at least. I mean, you know, I could see the argument for dropping it to B, but it's still really good in free mode, so it's an A from me. Isn't this just called the MG? I don't even think this has a name. It's literally just MG. The MG I'm gonna put in B tier. I do think that the MG would lose to all of these weapons because the MG, although it is a full automatic machine gun, it's pretty trash. Actually, it's garbage. You don't ever see anybody use this thing ever. People usually just use this until they get the actual MG and then never use it again. It's extremely inaccurate. The fire rate isn't really all that either. There's no attachments that you can put on it, and there's no Mark II variant. There's honestly no reason to buy this. It's a huge waste of money unless you were a role player. But yeah, there you go. Next up, we have the regular combat MG S. SSS. This thing right here, the reason why you always see tryhards running around with this thing is because the body damage on this thing is the highest out of any automatic weapon in the game. When it comes to the straight body damage, this thing is in a whole nother league of competition. It's you can't beat it. And you can also put incendiary rounds on it too, so it does extra damage off of fire as well. It's by far the best automatic weapon in the game, other than maybe the special carbine. The special carbine I'm also going to put in S tier. The special carbine is by far the best assault rifle in the game. It actually keeps up with the combat MG. It doesn't do as much damage as the combat MG, but it's far more accurate and longer range. It's got almost no recoil on it as well, and it's also got a Mark II variant. It's got a 100-round drum, which is the biggest drum in the game for any assault rifle or MG. So I do think that the special carbine and the combat MG, honestly, you could go either way with this. I think most players would say the combat MG is better, but being realistic here, the special carbine keeps up with it in pretty much every aspect but damage and outperforms it in every other area. So they're tied. Next up would be the Mark II special carbine. Okay, this one is going to be very, very controversial, but I do believe that the Mark II special carbine is actually worse than the regular carbine. The reason why I think the Mark II is worse than the Mark I is one reason specific: the magazine size. There is hardly a difference between the Mark I and the Mark II special carbines. They're basically the exact same thing. The only real difference between these two rifles is that the Mark I has a 100-round mag and the Mark II does not. Now, the Mark II might be better than the Mark I when it comes to like armor-piercing rounds, incendiary rounds, and stuff like that, but overall, as an assault rifle, I would rather have 100 rounds in my mag than have some fancy bullets that most people aren't going to get close enough to for it to even matter. Yes, armor-piercing rounds do go through bulletproof helmets, but oftentimes when you're in free mode, you don't get that close to a player for that to even matter. And honestly, if you're going to use an assault rifle with armor-piercing rounds on it, then you should be using this one instead, which I'm going to put in S tier. And the reason why I would say you should use this one instead is because since the Mark I is just so good, I don't think you should replace it with the exact same rifle with a smaller mag size. If anything, you should get a rifle that's almost identical. This is basically almost the same thing. I forgot what they call this. It's like the M4. It's basically the exact same thing. The only real difference is that this is the Mark II variant, by the way. This one actually, you can carry this with a Mark I, so you can have both the best worlds at the same time. So I do think that this is better. Technically, if you want to be real, the Mark II special carbine is better than the Mark II M4, but I think the Mark II M4 is just better because you get to carry the special carbine with it. It might be a little confusing. Once again, this is my first tier list, so I might be confusing a lot of you new players. Just know that everything in this tier list is accurate. The regular M4, B tier. I mean, it's okay. Like it's you know, it's whatever. It exists. It's got a 100-round drum just like the special carbine, but statistically it's worse in every way. It's less accurate. It has a worse fire rate, worse body damage. It's not worth getting. The AK-47, once again, just B tier. It's not really that great. The Mark II AK-47, I'm also going to put in B tier as well. Now, you guys might be confused because you're thinking, like, why is a Mark II assault rifle that has armor-piercing rounds and incendiaries below a Mark II special carbine that has the same thing? Or why is it below, you know, any of these weapons right here? And that's because I'm going this off of how good is the Mark II AK-47 compared to the Mark II special carbine. It's not very good. So I don't think that they're on the same level, even though they have equal in terms of rounds. Next up, we have the Mark II Combat MG. I'm going to put this also at S tier. Honestly, now that I'm looking at this, yeah, I'm still going to keep the Mark I Combat MG in S tier. It still outperforms pretty much all of these assault rifles, and I still would say that the Mark I MG is worth having on you at all times if you don't have the Mark II. Obviously, the Mark II is better, but the Mark I, you really can't go wrong with it. Compact grenade launcher. I know some people are going to look at me sideways for this, because I do think that, once again, this is another very slept on weapon. The compact grenade launcher is literally the exact same thing as the regular grenade launcher, but it's, you know, a worse version of it, which obviously you wouldn't want to use this over an actual grenade launcher like this. But the reason why I'm putting it in S tier is because they're the exact same thing. Honestly, they're the exact same thing. So, you know, it goes in S tier. The sawed-off shotgun. Where does the sawed-off shotgun go? Probably C tier, honestly. It's not the worst shotgun by any means, but it's also not really worth your time. It's a short-range shotgun, which automatically makes it pretty trash, because any weapon that's short-ranged is usually pretty bad. I mean, you know, the SNS pistol, yes, it is a short-range pistol, but it's still a lot longer range than the sawed-off, so I am going to keep the sawed-off here. Pump shotgun. The pump shotgun I would put as a B tier. I do think that the pump shotgun is better than the sawed-off shotgun. It's a little bit longer range. That's pretty much it. There's no real difference between these two other than range. And range is very important when you're using a shotgun. Next up, we have the Street Sweeper shotgun, I believe this is called. The Street Sweeper shotgun, we're also going to put in C tier. The Street Sweeper shotgun is not worth using at all. It's not better than the assault shotgun, and I wouldn't say it's better than the Cayo Perico shotgun either. The Cayo Perico shotgun also outperforms it, and it's free, so there's no reason to get the Street Sweeper either. Next up, we just have the pistol. Like, it's literally just called the pistol. Like, there's nothing special about it pretty much at all. I am going to give it a B tier. So keep in mind, this list is not for free mode. It's for everything. So I do think that the regular pistol, it would beat any weapon below it. But once again, it's literally just a pistol. Like, there's nothing special about it at all. It is good for what it is, but it's literally just the starter weapon of the game. But it's, you know, not the worst. So it'll stay in B. Next up, we have the Mark II pistol. Yes, it is better than the Mark I, but I'm still going to keep this in B tier. It's better in every aspect of the Mark I, but the regular pistol is not going to beat any of the weapons above it, so I'm keeping it in B tier. Heavy pistol. Once again, it's, you know, it's whatever. Like, I don't know if you've got caught on to this theme that Rockstar has of just whatever weapons. Like, I don't even know why. Like, they're in the game. They don't really serve a purpose unless you're role playing, honestly. Once again, the SNS Mark II, we're just going to leave that in B tier. I do think the SNS pistol is probably the worst pistol in the game, but it's, you know, it's a pistol. I mean, you can't really expect too much out of it. The D40, B tier. We're just going to, honestly, the vintage pistol, I'm going to put the vintage pistol in A tier. The vintage pistol is basically the same as all of these, but it's more accurate. So I do think that it belongs in A tier. Next up, we have the combat pistol. Once again, I'm going to throw that in A tier. The combat pistol, in terms of just a regular pistol, it's not automatic like the AP pistol or long range like the Cattleman revolver. I think that the regular combat pistol is probably the best pistol in the game. If we're talking regular default normal pistol, it is definitely better than all of these. It's got a high fire rate, it's got good accuracy, good range. Everything about the combat pistol is pretty great, so I'm going to keep it there. What is this thing? It's a Tech 9, obviously. It's a Tech 9. I don't remember what they call it in the game, though. The Tech 9, honestly, it's C tier. Nobody really uses it unless they're role playing as like gang members or something. It's pretty useless, honestly. I don't even know why it's in the game. Most people forget it's in the game and move on. The Scorpion, I forgot what they call it in the game once again. The Scorpion, honestly, the Scorpion is probably worse than the Tech 9, but I am going to leave the Scorpion in C tier. I do think it would get beaten by all these pistols. Yeah, the Scorpion's pretty bad. I think a lot of people just like the Scorpion because they have a Call of Duty bias, but in GTA Online, it's bad. MP5. The MP5, I do think the MP5 is better than these two because it's longer range, it's more accurate. I think the MP5 is definitely better than these. Is this a must buy? No, not by any means, but it is superior to all of these weapons if you wanted to buy it. The Mark II MP5, I'm also going to leave here as well. It's good. It's pretty, actually, no, okay, yeah. I'm going to still leave this here. It could probably beat the Cattleman revolver, and maybe the vintage pistol and stuff in a fight, but it also depends on if you're wearing a helmet or not, because if you're wearing a helmet, it could definitely beat the Cattleman, but if you're not wearing a helmet, the Cattleman would beat it. So I do think these two are kind of tied in that department, but I'm still going to put the Cattleman over it because the Cattleman is just so dead on accurate that any decent player would do better with it than they would with this. We have the Mark II Marksman Rifle. The Mark II Marksman Rifle, I'm actually going to put in S tier. So I know that a lot of PvP players do not use the Mark II Marksman Rifle, and I get it. I mean, it's not, it's not nothing crazy, but I do think it belongs in S tier because, I mean, come on, man. It's a semi-automatic sniper rifle with armor-piercing rounds, so it one-shots bulletproof helmets. I do believe this thing should be in S tier, and if you're a run-and-gun player, this is the best run-and-gun weapon in the game. This is not up for a debate. We're not going to argue over this. You can have however many run-and-gun players come into my comment section and tell me that I'm wrong. This is the best run-and-gun weapon in the game. If you know how to use this, you will drop hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kills with run-and-gun like it's absolutely nothing. Is it easy to do? No. But if you learn how to do it correctly, it is the best weapon in the game. You can literally make this thing on auto-aim, like lock-on rifle, and it's far more accurate than any assault rifle in the game. So I'm leaving it in S tier. Cry about it. Combat PDW, B tier. It's another whatever weapon. I don't even know who would use this thing, to be honest. The explosive shotgun. I know this thing is not called the explosive shotgun, but let's just be honest. That's what we all know it as because nobody uses it in any other way. Nobody has ever called this thing the incendiary shotgun, okay? The Mark II shotgun, if this is not on your S, if you were to make your own tier list and this is not on S tier, I can tell you've never played GTA Online a day in your life because this thing is it's honestly stupid. Honestly, they should nerf it. It should not be able to instantly one-shot people, but whatever, we're not working for Rockstar, so let's just let them do what they want to do. The regular bullpup rifle is just going to be another whatever assault rifle. I mean, nobody really uses it that much for it to matter. It just kind of exists. It's good in free aim because it has a high fire rate. It actually has the highest fire rate out of all the assault rifles in the game. The only other assault rifle that competes with it in fire rate is actually the heavy rifle. So we're going to put the heavy rifle there as well. They both have pretty good fire rates. They're actually, I take that back. There's one more assault rifle that has good fire rate, and it would be the advanced rifle. And the advanced rifle is an A tier. It is definitely better than all of these assault rifles by far. The advanced rifle is actually probably the best one in this whole tier, besides maybe the Mark II special carbine. The advanced rifle actually also has an insane fire rate just like these two, but it's better up close than these two are. The advanced rifle, if my knowledge serves me correctly, keep in mind I've been playing this game for almost 10 years, the advanced rifle was actually the first weapon that Rockstar Games ever actually nerfed for being too strong, and it's very rare that Rockstar ever nerfs a weapon. They usually keep the game extremely unbalanced and unfair. So really take that into account, that for it to be the first weapon that they ever nerfed, it was pretty damn powerful, and it's still good now. It does get outperformed, but once again, this thing is almost 10 years old, so you got to give it a break. The compact assault rifle. I think every assault rifle so far has been B tier, and this is going to be the only one to be C tier. Bro, this thing, oh my god. Like, I understand that they wanted to put this thing in as like, you can role play, like, look, I'm a Bala or I'm Grove Street or whatever the case is. But oh my god, like, this thing is closer to like an SMG than it is an actual assault rifle. And even some SMGs like the MP5 are better than this thing. It's so inaccurate, it's so bad. Like, it is so garbage. Like, it is by far the worst out of all the assault rifles. Like, they maybe, obviously this is a stretch because I know that Rockstar definitely doesn't watch my channel, but if they did, Rockstar, please do something with this. Do something with this, anything to make it, you know, actually in people's inventories, because nobody uses this except for people that are brand new to the game. We have the Mark II bullpup. I'm just gonna leave this in B tier. You know, it's once again, it's kind of whatever. It's not really that good. It's okay. Actually, I'm gonna change my mind. It's A tier. It's A tier. It is definitely an A tier weapon because it does have a very high fire rate, and unlike the advanced rifle, it has a Mark II variant, which means that it can go through helmets. So I do think it's on the level of the advanced rifle and the assault shotgun and all those others. So yeah, I do think this is actually an above average assault rifle. The combat PDW, C tier. It's not really that great, honestly. And you know, actually B tier. It's gonna be B tier because all the mediocre automatic weapons are basically B tier. And how I'm rating this, by the way, if you guys are confused, is I see S as like, you have to have it, like it's a must, you need it. A tier is like, you know, they're pretty good, but you don't necessarily have to have them. B tier, they're just average. This is average to me. Like, this is not bad or good, this is just, you know, decent. C tier is not that great, honestly. And then garbage is self-explanatory. Next up, what is this? What is this? We're gonna leave this for last because I don't know what pistol this is. Next up, we have the heavy revolver. The heavy revolver, I'm going to put in B tier. Only reason why I'm putting this in B tier is because there's a Mark II version that goes in A tier. The Mark II heavy revolver is literally the same thing as the regular heavy revolver, but it goes through helmets, it's got incendiary rounds, it's got the whole shebang. And if you're laggy, it one-shots. If you're a laggy player, if you're from like a very far away country or continent, you will one-shot people with it. So it's honestly, I'm just gonna put them both up at the same time. The firework launcher, you know, honestly, I would put this in B tier. I do think that the firework launcher would compete with like the up and atomizer or, you know, the stone hatchet or whatever. I think it's not horrible. It's meant to be like a prop item that you just have fun with and shoot fireworks around, but it actually does serve a purpose in PvP. Would I ever recommend using it? No, but it's not bad. It's, you know, it's good. The Tommy gun, B tier. You know, you could honestly live without it. The micro SMG, B tier. Again, not really something that you would need. The bullpup shotgun. The bullpup shotgun, I'm going to also put in B tier, but I will say one thing about the bullpup shotgun. I think this is a very slept on weapon. I think I've said that like 3 or 4 weapons have been slept on, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but I do think that there are some weapons in this game that players overlook that do deserve a bit more love and attention. I think the bullpup is actually pretty good. Like, I do think it's really good. It's a lot better than, you know, all this crap. So I do think it deserves a B. The heavy shotgun is by far the best shotgun in the game other than the explosive and assault shotgun. So I'm probably going to put it in A tier. Yeah, I'm going to put it in A tier. I do think that it's worse than the assault shotgun, but that doesn't make this any less of a good gun. Okay, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it doesn't keep up with the greatest shotguns in the game, so trash. No, we're not doing that. We're going to keep it, you know, where it deserves to be, even if no one uses it. But it is good. It's good for what it is. Military rifle. All right, hear me out. Hear me out. The military rifle is extremely inaccurate. It has terrible recoil. And for the price alone, this cannot, no, bro. This assault rifle is like what, $600,000 if you were to fully upgrade it? Like, this is over $500,000 for an assault rifle. I think it's 300,000 or 600,000. It's one of the two. I don't remember exactly. Just know that this assault rifle costs more than an apartment, and it's garbage. Like, there's no Mark II variant. The recoil is terrible. It's probably the worst recoil in the game. The damage is not really all there either. The attachments aren't really anything special. This thing is a scam. Like, this is the closest Rockstar has ever been to like actually scamming people out of money on GTA, because this rifle, for how expensive it is probably the worst assault rifle in the game other than the compact. So yeah, do not buy this if you're new to the game. You will regret it. Next up, we have the Kyle Perico pistol. This is something that you get from the heist, where you go to the little island, I think. So Kyle Perico pistol, I would say, is actually the worst pistol in the game. I think this is going to be garbage tier. The reason why this is garbage tier is because it only has one shot. Yes, that one shot is like super accurate, but we also play GTA in a time where everyone wears bulletproof helmets on every outfit that they wear. So it's not useful. And in terms of run and gun, once again, it's not useful because everyone in run and gun is going to sidestep that bullet, or they're going to, kill you with something that's far more automatic or fast firing. So it's useless. We have the marksman pistol. The marksman pistol is another thing I'm going to throw in garbage tier. Actually, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I am not. So the reason why I would put the marksman C tier is because you can actually one shot with it, similar to the heavy revolver, but it's not as good as the heavy revolver because the heavy revolver holds like 6 shots and the marksman only holds 1. But I do think it's better than the Perico pistol because it's got a lot more damage. So you can one-shot players with it, where the Perico pistol you can't unless it's a headshot. Next up, we have the Navy revolver. This is probably the gun that I have the least amount of experience with out of all of these. But I do still think that I have a decent understanding of how the game works. I don't think it's a B tier because the B tier pistols are definitely a lot better. I'm going to put it in C. So the Navy revolver is basically almost the same thing as the Perico pistol. The only difference is that the Navy revolver holds 6 shots instead of 1. So I do think it's better, but it's slow firing. It doesn't really do a lot of damage. It's not that accurate. This was just a promotional item for Red Dead Redemption 2. It's, it wasn't meant to be anything special anyway. The Hellraiser, what is this thing called? The Hell something. It's some kind of stupid knockoff combat MG that no one uses. This thing honestly could be a B or a C. On a good day or bad day, this thing could be a B or a C. It really doesn't matter. I'll put it B because it's closer to a combat MG than it is to something, like the military rifle, but it's a forgettable weapon. The only reason why people buy it is because you can role play as an alien and shoot laser beams. It's pretty trash in PvP, so let's just move on. Next up, we have the Mark I heavy sniper. I mean, let's just be realistic here. It's an A tier, okay? I know for a fact that I just got so many people triggered. But let's just be honest, it's not that good. It is good, but it was getting beaten by the marksman rifle until Mark II weapons were added to the game. Once Mark II weapons were added to the game, then you had the Mark II heavy sniper come in that clearly beat the Mark I. So the Mark I honestly just lives its sad, depressed life waiting for someone to pick it up again. It is still used if you play beach. If you're a beach player, they're the only people in this game that still use this. No one else uses this, like, at all. You go in free mode, no one uses it. You go at base or city or any other area in the game, no one uses it. This is just for beach players. So I'm keeping it A tier. It is still better than everything here, but being realistic, it's not really that great. And I do think the compact launcher is better than the heavy sniper. If you have a problem with it, then cry about it. Come on, be realistic. All right, so I actually had to look this one up because I honestly couldn't figure it out what this was. It's the ceramic pistol. The ceramic pistol is a B tier. I couldn't recognize it because it just looks so bland. Like it just looks like so basic. Like it just looks like a regular ass pistol. So you know, it's whatever. It's not really that great. It's not really that bad either. It's just whatever. It's a B tier. Now, I do know as well that some people are going to be asking about DLC weapons. And the DLC weapons I will cover at the end of the video because the tier list that I'm using does not have the DLC weapons that just came out. For those of you that don't know what I'm speaking about, I'm talking about the new precision rifle, the new M16 and things like that. So I'll cover that, after this tier list is wrapped up. So here we go. We're down to the final two, the two bosses of GTA Online, the two ultimate weapons that players always argue about which one's better. Either way that I put this, I'm going to have people in my comment section getting upset. But me being a realist and as someone who has played the game for an extensive amount of time, in multiple areas, not just one, I will tell you the grenade launcher is the best weapon in the game. If you don't know why the grenade launcher is the best in the game, then I severely recommend to you that you start playing other areas in the game, because the grenade launcher is a must-have at all times in this game. The grenade launcher is better than single thing on this list. It can go over buildings, first off. So if you have someone that's sitting behind a building, it doesn't matter. The grenade launcher goes right over the building. If they're playing dirty and they're killing themselves, you can do that with the grenade launcher. You can blow yourself up with it. You can spam it. You can lean on walls and spam it even faster. It's what is there that needs to be said about the grenade launcher? It's literally like a homing launcher that can go around buildings. Now, yes, the homing can go around buildings with the flare gun, but the grenade launcher does that on its own, and you're not gonna beat an explosive that can go around walls. So if you all have a difficult time or say that I'm a noob or I don't know what I'm talking about, try to play the game without the grenade launcher. Try to do that. It's not really going to be that easy if you're going against anyone decent, especially if you're in free mode or if you're in city. It's not going to go your way. The Mark II heavy sniper obviously is S tier. It's S tier. It one-shots and it has thermal scope. And now listen, I know there's going to be someone in my comment section and they're going to be saying that you can snipe through walls with the heavy sniper. Yes, you can. You can snipe through buildings and you can snipe through walls with the Mark II heavy sniper. We all know this, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I know you have to wear a thermal helmet when you do it, but even then, sometimes it just doesn't work. The grenade launcher is consistent. It always works. It never fails. And you can also spam it. You cannot spam the heavy sniper. You have to reload it or, switch to a sticky. But either way, the grenade launcher is the best weapon in this game. This is my tier list. Tell me what you guys agree with, what you would change. Obviously everyone's open to their own opinion. But once again, I have been playing this game for a very, 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 very long time. And the only thing I do on GTA is PvP. I don't do heists. I don't do cargo missions. I don't do any of that. I only do PvP. So as someone who's had this much experience in the game, the grenade launcher beats every single thing in this entire list. Just tell me what you guys would correct in the comments. And now let's move on to the DLC weapons. So like I said, this tier list does not have pictures of the DLC weapons. So I'm honestly just going to point to where I think they would go. So let's start off with the precision rifle, that new sniper rifle that just came out. It's garbage. It's down here. You could pick anywhere you want to put it. It's garbage. It's by far a complete joke. It's the worst sniper rifle in the game. It even loses to the regular sniper rifle that I said was even worse. It's horrible. It might actually just be the worst gun in the game, other than the double barrel shotgun. It's completely useless. I don't even know why Rockstar decided to add it to the game. What else is the list missing? It's missing the M16, the service carbine. Service carbine would be B tier. If it was on here, I'd put it in B tier. So I know a lot of people are like a big fan of the rifle, but in PvP, it's not that good. It's whatever. It's average. It's not that good. It's an average assault rifle. This is off of realistic PvP scenarios. So I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, well, if I get my squad together and we all dress up like G.I. Joe with M4s, we're going to win a fight. No, you're not. You're going to get killed by some tryhard spamming homings and grenade launchers everywhere. Let's just be realistic. That's how PvP on GTA Online works. So it's B tier. Next up, I don't know if you guys would really want to count this one, but it's snowballs. Snowballs, garbage. Snowballs, I mean, come on. Snowballs might actually be the worst weapon in the game other than the jerry can. Because you can kill people with snowballs. Theoretically, you can. You know, they don't do any damage. They're almost impossible to hit people with. I don't even, you know, they're not even really considered a weapon by most players. Okay, the WM29, it's, once again, average. It's B tier. It would definitely be a B tier for me. There's nothing special about it at all. It honestly just exists. You could probably slide it to an A because it does keep up with the combat pistol. They're almost identical. It does have a higher fire rate than the combat pistol, so I could see you putting it as an A, but it's, you know, it's whatever. It's mid. It's not that great. Okay. The railgun is something that's supposed to come out, but it's not out, and some people say that it's supposed to be in the game, and some people are supposed to. The railgun, obviously, I can't speak on it too much because it's not in the game yet. It's been leaked that it's coming to the game, but the railgun would probably be between an S or an A. I don't think the railgun would be better than most of these weapons. Like, I don't think the railgun would be better than the homing launcher. I don't think that it would be better than, you know, any weapon, any of these weapons really. But I do think the railgun would probably be S, maybe S. Yeah, maybe S. I think it would probably be S. The only problem that I have with the railgun is that it's very, very, very short range. That's what holds it back. I understand that it's one shot. I understand that it locks on. I understand that it's explosive, but it's very short range and it's only got one shot where the explosive shotgun has multiple. So it could be an S, it could be an A. I'll leave that up for you guys to decide. And the candy cane goes in C tier. It's literally just a melee weapon. There's nothing special about it. If you didn't get the candy cane this Christmas, don't worry, you didn't miss out on anything. It's useless. So yeah, that about wraps up my tier list. I know it wasn't the most professional tier list, but it was the most reliable one because I've seen that the people that are making these tier lists don't even do PvP, and they, you know, they're doing crazy stuff. They're putting the up and atomizer as the best weapon or S tier when no, it's not. Let's be realistic. It's a B tier. It's fun to use. Yes, it's fun to goof around with your friends, but it's not going to save you in a fight. It's not going to help you at all. It's going to actually make you worse. So I do believe that my tier list is the most reliable one. Obviously, some people are going to have a huge debate between the Mark II heavy sniper and the grenade launcher, and that's fine. But I think the grenade launcher is capable of more, so it gets best weapon for me. But yeah, that's about it. I'll be uploading another video soon, so see you guys later.